You don't need to go to Niagara Falls when you can eat some Brian Balls.
What's going on, NASCAR Diecast collectors and Diecast reviewers on YouTube? This is Original Brian here. Welcome back to another Mega Diecast review on my YouTube channel. And today this is going to be a relatively Mega Diecast review because we only got 6 new cards to be talking about, and it is going to be on some IndyCar diecasts that were released from 2012. As you can tell by this look of the packaging I'll show you, these were the diecasts that were made from the Hot Wheels Racing line from 2012 for the IZOD IndyCar series. Although majority of these cars weren't released from 2012, a good of them were released in that year. So let's go ahead and take a look at this wave of cars. As you take a look, we got 6 diecasts to be talking about, all very unique, and all of them have a pretty cool purpose into this wave that never made it to the retailers, guys, compared to the other Hot Wheels diecasts that we've had for IndyCar for IndyCar diecasts. So without further ado, guys, we're going to go ahead and take a closer look at these IndyCar diecast from 2012. So, of course, a favorite when it comes to Hot Wheels. This is probably now, I would say now the 5th time that we've had a National Guard car produced for Hot Wheels. And this is none other than number 4 National Guard from Panther Racing. That's supposed to represent J.R. Hildebrand's car from 2011. Although I'm going to contradict that because this car actually looks similar to the following year after that. But hear me on that, guys. But before we do that, guys, let's take a look at a nice 360 view of this car. As you can take a look, there are some few differences with this diecast, guys. I mean, first, we actually, well, of course, some details are missing, but we do, I will say that these are real rider diecast, guys. So we still have a fully diecast that is all metal. Even the bottom, it's got that nice metallic black finish, so it looks really cool. Just take a look as well. We are also we do not have the screws anymore for this wave, guys. As you guys know from the other Hot Wheels wave that we've had in the past, these are now rivets. So that's mostly like all the Hot Wheels diecasts that we have until now with the modern era. So yep. But these diecasts still have the rubber tires. See right there, they're not plastic, so they do have some, they are still pretty worth some money if you can find them. Like I said, you could probably, your best bet was at IMS or at eBay. But and there's a little nice paint rebel right there on the decal. Also, we do no longer have customizable drivers anymore, so all the drivers that we have are black. They're all black. It's like a nice, I don't know, like a matte black if I had to guess. A lot of black going on in this diecast, but it looks really cool. I mean, the color combination is really nice. We got this nice bright red, and then the metallic black, and the digital camouflage, which looks really cool. Pretty appropriate for the sponsor. And then the Panther Racing logo that's also on the top wing for the rear. Another thing about those wings, guys, that these this is all one piece, guys. That's another reason why these are held together by rivets. Maybe the front wings just one separate piece, but the wings no longer move anymore, which is cool. So we have a stable wing. I know on the past diecasts that we've had from Hot Wheels, that we've had from the retailers, the wings always kind of wobble. You guys know what I'm talking about if you guys have these diecasts. Maybe you saw my other diecast reviews on the Hot Wheels IndyCar diecast. But enough of the history. Let's get on to this pretty beautiful diecast. Even though it's not really accurate, but yeah, this car was supposed to represent J.R. Hildebrand as he almost won the 2011 Indianapolis 500. We probably all know that by now, but we also got this nice red, we got the black tires with the red trim, which looks really cool. So that's pretty modern for the Indy cars. I mean, with the red, it's supposed to, because of course Hot Wheels can't put the Firestone logo on these cars, but they got the IZOD IndyCar series logo, even though it's kind of outdated. But still really cool that they were able to make this, guys. Also, another thing that the front suspension is also one piece as well. See right there that these little parts right here were supposed to be cut out, but it's just all one piece. So same with the rear as well. But I think that's mostly it on the differences. But yeah, but you know, notice how I said that we've had a lot of National Guard cars lately, guys. This is not the first time. I mean, the first one that was released was the Dan Walden National Guard. We see right there we didn't have that much camouflage. So, yeah. And then we also had the Road Course Aero Kit car. Just a great evolution of diecast that we had. And then this is where the digital camo started. It came to play the Dan Walden digital camo promo. That was only a Panther Racing promo. And then this was the J.R. Hildebrand National Guard 2011. Notice how I told you about the wings being flimsy. That's the problem that we had on these cars. Luckily they fixed that, but you see the detail definitely kind of got lost a little bit. And you see right there it's also different as well on the bottom. But now I'm going to say that this diecast is inaccurate, if you want to say it's a 2011 car. But it actually looks like his 2012 car, which I'm pulling out from Greenlight. I see there's some big differences in the color combination that we got going on. But notice that the front looks very similar. So what I'm thinking is that Hot Wheels, since these cars were released in 2012, they kind of took that inspiration and made it onto this diecast, which makes it very unique. I mean, like I said, it's not accurate, but these are diecast, guys. I mean, they should be accurate, but, you know, still really cool that they were able to make these. But I can see why not people didn't really like this way, because just none really were that exciting, and none of them weren't really technically accurate, like I just pointed out. But you can clearly see the differences. I mean, it's just missing the red trim on the front wing, and then after that, it kind of looks almost perfect. But you see that where the paint scheme definitely varies. I mean, you see the camouflage is all kind of spread out, even down on the engine cover and the air flick. See, it's just all black. I mean, you can tell it's missing a lot. But, you know, Hot Wheels did a pretty decent job trying to replicate this paint scheme. But overall, what I think about this car, guys, I think there are way more better looking National Guard cars, in my opinion. The 2011 version is probably a lot more better, but if you really are, I think this is a great car to start off if you want to get into the Hot Wheels diecast, guys, because these are, you know, very basic looking cars, but this one definitely takes the cake of that, that's for certain. And now we got on to the next diecast, which is none other than the IZOD IndyCar for the IZOD IndyCar series, the number 37 IZOD car. So see right there, we still got that nice metallic black, but this time we do got some really cool looking silver going on right there. It's like very glossy silver. I mean, you can kind of see, I think it's also metallic as well, but yes, it is. So, and we got this nice bright red going on as well. So really great job representing the IZOD colors in this paint scheme, well, livery. So really cool. See right there, same details that we've had with the National Guard car, and but it's something a little more different. We don't have any trim on the wheels. We actually got colored rims, which are really cool. These are the chrome version, which this is something that Hot Wheels competitors, Greenlight Collectibles, has done very oftenly, specifically for Ganassi cars. But you guys are probably wondering what diecast this car is supposed to represent. Well, there's not really diecast that represents this for the livery. However, though, for the number and the sponsor, it could be a Ryan Hunter-Reay car, for all we know. I mean, they did not advertise these as drivers as well, so that's why a lot of people thought that these were fantasy cars. But I know where they got inspired from already, so I mean, I kind of cracked the code of where they got these inspirations from. So I know kind of Hot Wheels games now when it comes to making when they came to make these cars for the 2012 IndyCar diecast. But yeah, guys, this is supposed to be representing Ryan Hunter-Reay's 2010 Homestead car, I believe. Well, not Homestead, the Long Beach car. My mistake on that. So that's a whoopsie daisy. Any hoot, yes, the Long Beach car, definitely a lot more different. Of course, it was white. So right after that, this car is very inaccurate because there's no sign of white besides the IZOD logo. However, though, this is not the first time we've had an IZOD car produced, guys. If you guys remember on my other Mega Diecast review from 2011, we did have the Ryan Briscoe IZOD car. So pretty kind of ironic that they decided to release the 37 car after the 6, because the 37 IZOD car was technically the first IZOD car that was sponsored, and then came, you know, the Team Penske Ryan Briscoe car. But oh well, you see right there a lot more differences. Of course, Hot Wheels had a lot more licensing back then. Not really, they couldn't really do so anymore with these diecasts, because these diecasts were not selling that well. And that explains why they were at Big Lots and Kmart's and other low, well-received retailers. But see right there, that's pretty much what I got to say about that diecast comparison. So, if you're looking for a Ryan Hunter-Reay 37 car, this might be the best bet. It'll be a good car to run for your Indy 500, Hot Wheels stop motion, or wherever you guys want to do. Or if you just want to get another car to collect for your Hot Wheels collection for Indy cars, this is another one to get right here. I'd probably recommend it, even though it's a little bit on the basic side. But sometimes basic does work in the long run. Alright, and now we are in the halfway point of this video, and a great way to represent this next driver, which is the Sarah Fisher number 67 Sarah Fisher Racing diecast. Another fantasy scheme that we got for this wave, and but I will say that this Sarah Fisher and pink is something that's not very uncommon, especially for you guys who tuned in and watched the 2010 Homestead race. That's where I got the Homestead comments, so so yeah, she drove a Dollar General number 67. It's basically the Dollar General car that was originally released from Hot Wheels, but they dyed it pink, so I'm thinking that's where they took the inspiration from. But then again, I can also see where they took the flames as well. I mean, we've had those a lot on the Dad's Root Beer cars. I think also on the 68, on the number 68 Hot Wheels show car that was also produced in the diecast. Yeah, Hot Wheels and flames really, Hot Wheels really loves their flames and their Dad's Root Beer sponsorship. Hence, that might be the next diecast we're going to be talking about. But yeah, we still got this nice metallic pink, which is something you don't really see every day. So this will... definitely very smart decision, since you know there are a lot of IndyCar fans out there that vary in gender. So really cool they decided to do that, especially for Sarah Fisher. I mean, this is a really cool looking diecast for a fantasy scheme, and we got the pink rims as well. I mean, they don't really have a special finish to them. It's just plastic pink rims, but really nice. You see most of the diecast, even one of the rivets is pink as well, so they really went all out with this diecast, guys. But I'll show you guys the other Sarah Fisher car that was released from Hot Wheels, which was ironically the Dollar General car. So you see right there, definitely different, guys, a lot more different. But I've noticed that that there is no 67 on the front wing. On the rest of the diecast, we've had at least a number, but this one is missing a number for some odd reason. Maybe they just forgot about it. But then again, 67 is a little hard to read on that rear side wing. So yeah, maybe this. Feel free to comment below which diecast you like a little better. You can also see the tires are a lot more wider and bigger as well. That's because, you know, Hot Wheels does that, so you can put these cars on the tracks and they roll a lot more faster. So yeah, really cool. But however, though, you cannot switch out the tires as well. You can see right there the rims are a lot more thicker, so even if you want to put the Real Rider diecast that we've had from earlier cars, they won't fit because the rims are too wide. Trust me, I've already tried. It would make the diecast look a lot more better, but these will do, guys. But yeah, this is a really nice looking diecast, guys. If you're looking for some variation in your Hot Wheels diecast collection, this one definitely will get easily spotted with that nice bright pink. So yeah, really interesting design choice that we got for the Sarah Fisher car. And for the third time in a row, we've got a Dad's Root Beer IndyCar diecast. Yep, when it comes to Hot Wheels, there are two things you got to know with their IndyCar diecast. They love flames on there. They love those flame designs. Even better, they love that Dad's Root Beer sponsorship. But this is definitely a very unique choice. This car actually does not represent any kind of driver whatsoever. This is actually I guess you could say a promo car for the 75th anniversary of Dad's Root Beers. Of course, that's kind of outdated now because this car was released in 2012. You can see right there on the decal. That's what it says. So yeah, we got a very, I mean, I do love this nice metallic blue. I think it looks a lot more nicer than the other Dad's Root Beers cars that we've had. And we also have these yellow rims, which look really cool. You know, this could be a great diecast to represent, I don't know, I mean, who are some drivers that drove the Dad's Root Beers cars? Let's see. We had, of course, you know, Mike Conway, Justin Wilson, I believe, also drove. Graham Rahal as well. He's the one that drove the flamed Dad's Root Beer car the only time. I think Anna Beatrice as well. And oh yeah, also your 2004 Indianapolis 500 winner, Buddy Rice. I could be missing something else. David Land, help me out on this one, man. But anyways, guys, this is actually a really cool car. I mean, like I said, I like the blue. But the rest of this livery, not liking it. I think this livery was supposed to represent, you know, the root beer, and, you know, there's the fizziness and the carbonation, but just kind of messy, in my opinion, especially the overuse of the Dad's Root Beers logos. I mean, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a little tiny Giant Rival Racing logo. But I think that's kind of overdoing it right there. But what can I say, guys? I mean, but actually, let's look at the Dad's Root Beer diecast. See right there, side-by-side comparison of the first Dad's Root Beer car that was released, which was the plain Mike Conway version. This one just has, you know, the plain Dad's Root Beer sponsorship. It would look cool with the yellow rims, guys. I think that would look really nice. That's probably the only way I would recommend getting this car, because that metallic blue does look nice, and those colored rims do make this diecast pop. Can't really say too much about the livery as well, but you can also see why I like the blue, because look how much more decent looking it is compared to the Mike Conway car. Speaking of more Mike Conway, let's look at the flamed version that you also supposedly drove. Technically not, Graham Rahal actually drove this car. But you can clearly see, I mean, the flames outdo themselves in the Graham Rahal version, which is really cool. And you see the Dad's Root Beer sponsorship is also a little bit, it's actually symmetrical right here. It's actually perfectly centered, while here it's a little bit off to the left, which kind of will bug some people for any OCD fans who are very, you know, nitpicky about their diecast. But yeah, I mean, if I had to say which diecast is my least favorite, it's probably got to be this one for the Dad's Root Beer car out of this wave. So yeah, I will only recommend getting this car if you want to complete the whole Dad's Root Beer collection. But anywho, guys, enough of me, you know, promoting about Dad's Root Beer. Let's get on to the next diecast. And the next diecast to show you might be actually a fan favorite, especially since this is probably the only way you can get this car, especially for any Tony Kanaan fans from 2011. You guys know he went to KV Racing in 2011 after leaving Andretti Autosport or Andretti Green Racing. And this was a very almost exact replication of Tony Kanaan's number 82 Geico Lotus from KV Racing. So yeah, I mean, of course, any longtime Lotus fans are going to love this car. Especially any Parnelli Jones fans. Of course, you guys are going to probably recognize this livery as well. But Hot Wheels, I will have to say, did a great job. I love how they put the TK logo on it here as well. And we even got the silver rims as well, which is actually almost accurate. I believe they ran silver or chrome rims in the 2011 IndyCar. But you see the yellow, it looks like there's two different shades of yellow from what it looks like on camera. Yeah, the yellow is a lot more brighter, which actually I believe that is the... well, actually, both these yellows are kind of inaccurate, because on the actual diecast it's supposed to be a dandelion yellow, but they never made a number 82 Lotus car for Tony Kanaan until Hot Wheels did it. I mean, the only cars that were released, and they were released from Greenlight, yeah, long complicated history when it comes to IndyCar diecast, guys. They had the Takuma Sato cars from 2010 and 2011, and those cars are super rare to find unless you live in Japan. So yeah, I mean, I don't really have a great diecast to compare on this, besides the Tony Kanaan car that we've got from 2009 and 2010, the classic 711. So Tony Kanaan, of course, loves his green. Definitely, it's a lot more of a darker green than the bright green that we get with the 711 sponsorship. Of course, this is still a sponsor that, you know, a longtime sponsor for Tony Kanaan, of course, because he won the championship for the IndyCar Series in 2004. So really, really awesome looking car. I say this probably will have to be one of my favorites in this wave, if not probably my favorite, because yeah, this diecast still is not kind of accurate, but I think the one thing that kind of kills for me is the white colored wings. I mean, there's no sign of any white on the actual diecast. I guess Hot Wheels just said, hey, you know, this car needs a little bit more boom, so let's give it some white. I mean, it kind of goes well, because, you know, you have the, you know, the white circle on the 82 to represent the Lotus. But I mean, and plus you also get these weird lines as well. I mean, that's just from the Tony Kanaan logo. So great representation, but just a great idea for a diecast, but just really didn't hold up to its potential. But still would be a great diecast to get. Another filler car as well for any stop motion makers out there for the Hot Wheels IndyCar diecast. So yeah, I say this car is another great recommend, especially for any TK fans. I mean, you got to get this car no matter what. And last but not least, we got the number 98 William Rast Brian Herta diecast. So yeah, this really interesting. I mean, this is actually the only diecast that we got in this wave that has like a special finish besides metallic. And yeah, this, I don't know, it kind of has like a it's almost like a I mean, you can't really see it on camera, but when you feel it, it really has like a nice matty. It has like a nice matte finish. It's almost like a powder coated texture on this. So I think it's like a powder coated silver or gray, if I'm not mistaken, which really looks cool. I mean, I never knew that for the longest time until now, but really, that's really cool that Hot Wheels was able to incorporate, you know, different paints, the different paint scheme finishes on these diecasts. So this one definitely, for unique purposes, this one's really cool. But this is of course not going to represent the 2011 car because, you know, Dan Weldon, that diecast they made from Greenlight Collectibles, not once but twice, and those two cars are pretty rare to get nowadays. Now I would show you the William Rast car, but I'm doing it for respect for Dan Weldon, and I don't really want to take that car out of the packaging because it's a pretty rare car, so better safe than sorry. So yeah, I mean, it almost kind of gives me the vibe of a test car, kind of like a pre-season test car, which is really cool. I mean, I think the I almost said Greenlight. Hot Wheels got this inspiration probably from Sebastian Saavedra's 2010 car for the Indy 500, because he did drove the number 29 William Rast car, if I'm not mistaken. And it did have some silver and orange to it. I mean, of course, it's in different places, but maybe that's where they got this car inspired from, because I can't really see where they got this livery from. Definitely probably an early design from William Rast, because they actually have been around for a couple Indy 500 races. So yeah, really nice. I think Thompson Bell was also a recent driver as well for William Rast sponsorship. So really cool. You know, not really much to talk about this diecast, even though, let's say if you're having a really hard time finding the Dan Weldon Indy 500 win from Greenlight Collectibles, this is a good substitute. Although I highly encourage you guys to get that diecast, because, you know, Dan Weldon diecasts are getting pretty rare nowadays, so I would just keep a lookout for that. But this one might be a little underrated, but I do like the uniqueness of this diecast, and overall I think this is just, you know, I mean, plus look at that orange, man. That orange is fantastic. You know, bright colors are something I really do like, and this diecast is for certain probably going to be a favorite for this wave. Well guys, that is going to wrap up this mega diecast review on the 2012 IndyCar diecast from the Hot Wheels racing line. As you see right there, these are the diecasts that I got as my favorite on the left to my least favorite on the right. And feel free to comment below which one is your favorite and which one is your least favorite, or you know, put them in numerical order of which ones are, you know, favorite to least favorites. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this mega diecast review on these diecasts, and if you guys haven't already, feel free to hit that subscribe button and make sure to comment, like, and subscribe to this channel for more mega diecast reviews on IndyCar diecast, NASCAR diecast, and many more. But until then, guys, this is Original Bit. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you guys in another mega diecast review.